Ready, mate?
Yep.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Celtic Unrestricted View podcast. My name is Ryan Clifford, and I'm back from man flu, taking over from JP this episode, who slotted in perfectly well, I must say. Still a wee bit groggy, but we're back. Massive week again. And just let you know, guys, we're actually filming while the Celtic B team are playing the other B team over at Celtic Park. We're actually watching it live, so anything that kicks off or happens, we'll mention on the podcast. As I said, JP, it's a massive week again for Celtic. Glasgow derby semi-final on Sunday. What else do you want at the end of the season, mate? We're fighting for cups, fighting for trophies, and another big match to look forward to after the game on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, welcome back, mate. I didn't know how long I was going to have to step in and take the reins for, but I'm glad it was only a one-hit wonder. But yeah, tonight we've got two for Tuesday. We've got me and you, and it's Tuesday. The two Ronnies back at it. Every week's becoming a big week for Celtic now, mate. It's getting to that point of the season. Ange just spoke very humongously over the last wee while about it all. Like, you know, this is what he wants to be involved with. The team, he's built the team towards peaking at this end of the season. When there's trophies and medals to be dished out, then he wants to be in the thick of things. So, let's do it. Another Glasgow derby to look forward to, and should be a good occasion.
I like to think it would be a good occasion for us, mate. Obviously, the form we're in. Again, I know I wasn't here for the last podcast, the St Johnstone game, but we can touch on that because it will lead on to the game for Sunday. I think if anybody thought Celtic's levels would ever drop, I think we can say, nah. That performance for me, again, I was actually no well, so I couldn't go to the game, so I watched it for the house, and for me, it was just, I was unhappy. I wasn't ready to see it from my own eyes because it was second to none. Everybody was superb. I can maybe come to saying it was one of the most complete performances I've ever seen for a Celtic team at any level. Rodgers' team was superb, but some of the football was outstanding, and that leads to obviously this Sunday's game, JP. When you look at that, the game against Rangers, we didn't play superbly well. We played okay, we won the game. We can play better than that. Obviously, we've got another 2 or 3, 4 gears to go up. Have Rangers got 2 or 3, 4 gears to go up? Maybe no, if they're going to be missing Morelos. Obviously, Ramsey only played the first half the other day, which I thought again was surprising because I thought he played well. Mm-hmm. I know people will say, why are you watching games? But listen, you watch your rivals' games now this time of year. It's on TV, Sunday, you're going to watch it. And I thought he played well, so I would be expecting him to play again on Sunday. But I think if anybody thinks we're going to not be any better than we were this game Sunday, then I think you'd be I would like to say, the caravan's barking, mate, because let's be fair, Celtic will be up for this on Sunday, and if we start any better than we did after the 7th minute, then I can only see one winner.
No, absolutely, mate. You've got to look at just the last few months for Celtic has been absolutely unbelievable in terms of our performances, our levels, the tempo we're playing at. I think the one at Ibrox there, the first kind of 5 minutes, we just hadn't woke up, and when they scored, it kind of what they call poking the bear, I suppose, and they made us angry, and we got up and went at them. But no, I think this one's going to be different, mate. They've obviously got a massive game on Thursday to look to first, so a lot of their training now will be based on the game plan for Thursday, whereas your game plan is going to be tunnel vision towards Sunday coming. And then as you just touched on there, mate, obviously we spoke at length about Saturday, the other night on Sunday, and we covered it. It was a phenomenal performance, in my opinion. I agree with you. I think it was probably one of the best performances I've seen for a Celtic team at Celtic Park ever. The football that we're playing now under Ange, the belief the team's got, the camaraderie in that dressing room, the the speed of the play, the manipulation, the tactic behind the play, everything that we're set up the new way is spot on. And Ange's got everybody well drilled. I think what's more important than all, Ryan, is, and I don't think it's spoke about very often, when Celtic don't have the ball, I think we're a very, very well organised side. You can see a big difference to that Celtic team now to the Celtic team that lost to Bodø Glimt. And that comes with games, comes with playing together, comes with getting used to one another, it comes to getting to know the guys on about you. And I think instrumentally, Starfelt and Carter Vickers have been absolutely unbelievable together. And then the two fullbacks have been sublime for weeks and months together as well, Juranovic and Greg Taylor. And I've got to give Greg Taylor a big mention here, because as much as people put a guy down and they're comparing him to Kieran Tierney and everything else, you've got to look at the improvement for Tony Ralston. You've also then got to commend the job that Ange has managed to do with Greg Taylor. And maybe now we're starting to see why Ange sees Greg Taylor as a plan, that he's given him a long-term contract. So I think, especially against in the derbies against across the water, that Greg Taylor it's no coincidental that I think Greg Taylor's actually turned into Roberto Carlos the last couple of times he's played against that mob. And he had a good performance in the Scotland game when he played against Poland. I thought he was really good before he came off there as well. So again, it just all bodes well to the hard work that Ange is actually putting into these guys. And I think what's vital, Ryan, is we've got this full week to prepare for Sunday. And I think this is just an extra week for the boys to, again, get a lot more solid work tactically put into them to make them... I mean, we could talk about, obviously, the teams and everything else, but to have a full week without any midweek football, mate, that's vital in a game like this. Vital. And it's only going to bode... I think it's only going to bode well for Sunday. Obviously, we'll get into it with the teams and stuff and what his selections might be, or this, that, and the next thing, but I really think all round, mate, unless Celtic, again, on the attack, I can only see one winner, mate, to be honest with you.
I obviously touch on Greg Taylor. People who listen to podcasts will know I might not be the biggest fan, but I'm always the first guy to put his hands up. I think if somebody's playing well, I'll say they're playing well. I'll be consistent in that. I've done it with Ralston. Macy did with Ralston. I like to think I'm quite embarrassed if I make a mistake or I say something wrong at the time. You can only go on, like I've said in previous pods, you can only go on what you see at the time. And at the time, Greg Taylor, the start of the season, I know some guys weren't performing well, but he wasn't performing well. He was leaking goals, a lot of stuff, especially in Europe, was doing his side. But I think the team are gelling now together. They have got understanding together, and it's helping Greg Taylor. And it helps the fact that he's got two quicker guys playing in the wing that can help him out. In football, it's a team game, we all know that. Last year,
it's not that, Ryan. He's actually getting your effort or not to get. He's gone beyond Jota now. He's gone beyond Maeda. And he's actually built his fitness level to a certain point where he knew as he's everywhere now. And I think at one point on Saturday, mate, he picked the ball up at right wing.
But that was a criticism I think we had to me personally anyway, that he wasn't getting by men. He wasn't getting by Jota. He wasn't getting by Abada if he swap wings. He wasn't getting. But now you can see maybe if he's fitter or he's been told to date more, I don't know, but he's definitely producing a bit more than he has been. And I'm not going to say that I'm Greg Taylor's biggest fan now and that's him the first choice left back for the years to come. I still think for European football, if we go to Champions League, again, I know we're praising him, I don't want to put him down, but I don't think he's a guy personally that's going to be the guy to put us into the Champions League into the last 16 that says if that's where you want to go. I think if we want to get better, you need to sign better, and I think we will do that in every position, not just left back, right back, and whatever else. But I don't think but it seems here Ange might no fancy Liam Scale to be left back. He's hardly been seen since the game against who was it? Bodo? Was it Bodo? Left back he played.
I think it was Bodo away from home, wasn't it?
And they get absolutely ridiculed. I think Solbakken might have actually ridiculed him. He's not been seen since. I don't think he's been on the bench, to be fair. since then as well. So the left back, to be fair, I think JP, we spoke about in previous pods, it's not to do with Greg Taylor, Bolingoli, it's to do with the managers beforehand, i.e. Neil Lennon, who had 3 or 4 windies to sign a left back, and we've not signed a left back. People might be praising Greg Taylor and say, aye, that's him, he's doing well. Aye, he's doing well, but I just can't see. I think for the SPL, mate, I think for this squad for the SPL, again, you touch on, we might win the league and we should win the league now, right? But like Tav says on Twitter, I'm saying we're on course. I'm only saying we're on course because nothing is guaranteed. We've seen it in years to come. By looks of it, we shouldn't lose the league, but we all know football's a crazy situation. So the SPFL, I'm happy with Greg Taylor as my left back, but I think going forward in European standards, if you're going to throw your Real Madrid and your Barcelona as if that's the standard trying to beat, I just can't see it. Again, I'm not a manager. Greg Ange might think different. That's, as you say, mate, that's why I gave him a new deal. But forget about next year. On the new, I can't say anything, mate. He's been superb. I think he's going to be the left back for the rest of the season, and obviously depending on what we're going to do in the summer, he might be the left back next year. But for me, mate, I'm the same as you. I think you've spot on there. I think Greg Taylor's been superb.
Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I think he's one of the most improved players in the squad, out with the Tony Ralston story. And then obviously you look at the quality that Ange has added throughout the squad there the last 2 Windies, and that's why we're in the position we're in, and we're in another semi-final. Hopefully we can negotiate that and get ourselves to a cup final. Because I think that again, it's all about momentum. And I think psychologically on Sunday we've got the upper hand going in, because they'll be looking at, it could work 2 ways. They could be looking at the bit between their teeth, wanting to put something right that they've had wrong now for the last twice. Or they could be looking at, depending on Thursday night's result for them, I think they could be looking at going, right, we're going to be lucky here if we escape with a 1 or 2 goal deficit here. I just don't see. I think now they've got another couple of injuries. For what I'm hearing, Lundstrom might be injured, and I definitely know Hollander's been injured because he's been photoed with one of the Buzz Lightyear moon boot things on his leg. To be fair, it's an improvement for the boots that he does well, in all honesty. But no, I think he's definitely going to boot. So they're kind of starting to pick up some injuries. Maybe they've not had this season so far. We've been sort of battered all season with injuries, with vital players to the team. It's just at this point now that our players are starting to regain fitness and come back to give Ange a headache and make him think about who he's selecting. And that's the thing as well, Ryan. Ange could pick 2 or 3 teams for Sunday.
Aye.
That's the options he's got now.
Aye.
So I'm not going to be disappointed with who plays and who doesn't, and I'm not going to get caught up on that, because I know the guy that he's bringing into play are going to be hungry enough to do the job, and that's vital as well, Ryan. It's a hunger that they're currently showing us. There's a drive and a determination, and it's as if they've got the bit between their teeth and a point to prove. I think that's what's more shocked me personally than anything else. To come back for last season, to finish in the league 25 points behind. I mean, McGregor's still there, Beaton's still there, Scott Bain's still there, Greg Taylor's still there, Anthony Ralston's still there, Welsh still there, Forrest still there. So, as I say, there's quite a lot of them still there for last year, with some new faces been added. But you can just see the new faces that have been added gave everybody a spring in their step, mate. And then obviously the addition of like the big characters like Joe Hart. Kyogo's brought an energy on his own. You see what he's like. even when he's injured, he's high-fiving everybody at the side of the pitch, going off, and Matt O'Reilly's brought in energy. Carter Vickers has brought in energy. Starfelt's brought in energy. But they've also brought leadership skills with them as well. Because they're no, like I've said before, they're no development players. They weren't brought in and we'll not see them for 6 to 8 months or a year. They're brought in and they've come right into the team. Everybody that's came in has come into the team and they've made a difference straight away. The only one that's kind of, I feel quite sorry for is Idaguchi because he's not a proper chance. The team's at a point of the season now that he's regained full fitness for that injury to go. But it's at a vital time of the season. And obviously your captain, you don't want to be dropping him and pulling him out of massive games because he's a captain. So you're not going to pull him out this game on Sunday just to appease Idaguchi. So Idaguchi will probably have to wait and bide his time. But I'd imagine the next couple of games in the league, if we can get the league wrapped up, then it's a chance for guys like McCarthy. And by the way, I thought he showed tremendous quality in some of his range of passing again. And Saturday, he was unlucky with one. He slipped as he hit it. And he just never put enough on it. And I think one of their players got it. And within 2 seconds, it was given away again because we shut him down. And other than that, I thought McCarthy's range of passing was really good when he came on. And again, Ryan, he's another one. It's that for me, he's never really put a foot wrong. He's playing in a team that's just littered with quality. He's playing in a position that's littered with quality. I mean, look who's in beside him. You've got Hatate, O'Reilly, Rogic, Idaguchi, McGregor, Beaton, Turnbull. They're all fighting for that position. So I suppose in a way, it's nobody likes having a headache, but Ange's got a tremendous headache, should we say?
Aye, obviously, it's half time actually as well, guys. Celtic B team and Rangers B team, nothing each. Pretty decent first half of Celtic, but some of the development players looking good. But as you said there, JP, for me, mate, McCarthy, I don't believe he's a bad player, mate. For what I've seen, he don't play. I know he might only play 20 odd games for Palace last year, but to still play at that level and come and play with Celtic, you should be able to play. And you can see his quality when he plays 15 minutes or 20 minutes or if he starts. Anytime he's come on, I've not seen him play a bad game, to be fair. Yeah. People might say otherwise, but you can see he does the simple things. You can tell he's experienced. I think he's got, is it 50 odd caps or something for Ireland? He's got a lot of caps.
I think so, Ryan. I think he's quite highly capped to him.
He's played at a high level for Ireland. He's very calm. He's very calm in the ball. His distribution is superb. Mm-hmm. These are the type of guys that can come in and play, and you don't need to worry about him because he's got the experience. He's got the know-how. Yeah. He's got the nous a football. He's got a football brain at a high level. Yeah. 15 minutes, against Rangers if you're 1-0 up. Bring him on to secure the game. Beaton, bring him on to secure the game. You get these guys to come on and help you if you're winning the game. Or
he done it at Ibrox, Ryan. He brought Beaton on and he just can't.
To be fair, he was superb when he came on as well.
Yeah.
A lot of options for the bench. Like you say, you could every guy who's on that bench on Sunday, Sunday could come on and play. Saturday could come on and play.
Sunday it has been.
No, Saturday there, sorry, St Johnstone.
Oh, Saturday, aye.
Get mixed up. I'm looking forward to that game already. You could, every game for Saturday, St Johnstone, every sub could play. And there's even guys who are leading in the squad that can play. Even your 2 goalkeepers, Bain and Barkas, we've not the best of seasons, but I think under Ange, I generally believe, as much as I don't like Scott Bain, I don't think he's good enough. Barkas, I just think it's not worked out. If they two want to play instead of Joe Hart, you'd be worried. But see, because you're playing under Ange, if Ange is playing him, you've got to go, do you know what? Ange trusts me to play. I'm fine with that. But if it's under Neil Lennon and go, oh, here we go, man. Fucking, he's kind of getting made to play him.
Yeah.
But Ange is picking him, do you know what I mean? So whoever Ange picks, if it's Hart and goals, Barkas, Bain, if it's either Gucci fucking left back, you're going to trust him. And like you says, mate, I'm really happy in a sense. No happy, that's the right word to use. I'm maybe relieved in a way we're out of Europe because the way it's worked out. I was a big believer. I was actually embarrassed after Bodo Glimp. We all knew by talking to Jorn and the Bodo fan on the podcast, and we've also done our own research, and William, who obviously we know very well for the podcast, he does a lot of work for scouting. We all know how hard the game is going to be, but just the way we went through the tie, I wasn't happy. I just wasn't happy the way I think we underestimated Bodo. I think if you've seen that, especially the second leg, it was hopeless. But going away for that, at the time I was thinking, again, embarrassed in Europe by a team. We should be beating Bodo, and let's be fair, they're in the Norwegian league. We've got a bigger budget. I know Andrew's not a big fan of budgets, but technically you should be beating them. Even though they beat Roma, and they're a very, very good team.
Yeah.
If we want to strive to be better Europe, you've got to beat these teams. But ever since then, I've not really looked back, especially domestically. I know we're unbeaten in, was it 35, 36 games or something like that? 37, I think unbeaten domestically. You can't really criticise your team, especially in the Scottish front. We've been superb.
Mm-hmm.
Again, JP, that's not getting mentioned. How I know Rangers went unbeaten last year, but nobody's really mentioned how good we've been, how much we've turned it around, and I'm kind of glad some pundits now are getting a bit of credit, and a guy who I still think's he's a superb player for us. He gets a bit of flat face. Some fans don't think it's warranted sometimes. I think he tried his best for Celtic and he was superb as Chris Commons. He came out yesterday in the paper and basically says he expects Celtic to win easily.
I've seen that.
He should basically say Celtic should just go for the juggler. Forget about defending, just go attack, because you've got the best team, the best players, just go gung-ho, but I know that won't happen. But I can see what he's coming for. If Celtic start off quick, Celtic start off attacking the way we know they can, I'm similar as Chris. I genuinely believe, JP, that there's only one winner. Again, you don't want to go too cocky, you don't want to go too confident, but the way we are playing, you can't nobody no confident. Doesn't matter if it's a semi-final or no. And the way all the players talk, it's just another game. The big Starfelt, like, I think we actually mentioned it on the podcast. He's behind the Rangers crest and the tunnel. He's interviewed, and I don't know if that's to maybe intimidate him in the tunnel. And he's just like, it's just another game of day. That's just the attitude for that presence of a game to just, I know they're professional players, but inside you must be like, fucking ready to go. And he's
Ryan, it's not that as well. See, during the game, mate, we went a goal down and
no pressure.
No, we went a goal down, Ryan, and they two were still showing for the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I think Starfelt, I think he went to pass it to Taylor, but he ended up knocking it out for a shy. Just put too much on it and it just went out. But they were still showing for the ball, Ryan. They were still taking the ball under pressure. That's no easy to do, mate. See when your manager's battering home, but that's the way he wants you to play, that's the way he wants you to play. That takes time, mate, for then an individual to become comfortable with that. And not everybody is a player that doesn't get ruffled. A lot of players get harried when they're closed down.
Yep.
So a lot of guys panic and kind of like kick it anywhere just to get rid of it because they don't want to be the one that makes a mistake and gets the ball took off them. Whereas the two big fellas were like that, keys the ball. It's all right, we'll create something, keys the ball. And they just had that belief. And I think, as you just said there about Starfelt standing at the Rangers crest, I don't doubt all that's like intimidation tactics, mate, and you know, try to be just try and be different mind games and stuff. And obviously, it's not going to work with Ange's teammates. They're very well drilled in what Ange wants them to do. But that's a couple of times during this season we've heard that because Juranovic, before the game at Parkhead, the 3-0 game at Celtic Park, he was asked about the exact same thing, about, right, what do you do in training? Is it any different? Blah, blah, blah. And he says, no, we just train like we're playing Hibs. It's just the total, like, his total demeanour and everything. He was just like, no, we just train like we're playing Hibs. It was like, no, not really. And I really don't know what they expected him to say, or like, oh, we work double hard because it's a derby, or no, it's just another game. It's just another match. I think a lot of people get caught up in the hype. Oh, it's a big derby. It's this, that, and that thing. But they're setup and preparation is just the same.
Aye.
They train for a derby the same way they would train if we were playing Stranraer.
That's mental, isn't it?
And it's why alter something that's been working for you all season? And that's what I was saying as well. Like, I heard a couple of Celtic fans mentioning about the beginning at Ibrox and obviously before we'd scored. And even when you look through the comments on social media and stuff and all that, why are we not just lumping the ball? Why? What fuck? We've been playing like this all season. Why are we going to just start going route one now just because we went a goal down? Why? Look, what? To who? Play the ball to who? To Jota and Maeda. Like, you're going to play a 70-yard pass in mid-air to Maeda to try and win a ball in the air? Why? You're playing the ball on your feet. So it's like, just because I think it was Charlie Nicholas as well. Sure, he mentioned about it as well. Like, they showed a sincere level of panic, and I thought he must have been watching a different game for me. Panic would have been, don't give me the ball, get rid of it, don't give me the ball. Whereas no, they were wanting the ball, they were wanting to start moves, and the ball was getting zinged about, and then we just found our way back into the game because obviously they believe in the manager, they believe in the way we've been training all season, they believe in the process. So why deviate for that just because all of a sudden you go a goal down? A lot of Celtic fans, I think, need to calm down as well. Like, they get caught up in the hype as well. Like, oh no, they've went a goal. That means you get. It was only 4 minutes, man. There was people saying the game's done.
I know.
Like, but how do you feel now it's full time and Celtic have won 2-1? Like,
I think people. That's a good point you say there, mate. Because I think fans maybe hope for getting next year under Ange. If you go 1-0 up, sorry, 1-0 down, you need to relax because you know you've got. If it is extra 4 minutes, you've got the quality. The rest of it, I'd rather concede in the first 4 minutes than the last 4 minutes. Because then it's panic stations. Then you start getting the ball to park. But after 4 minutes, like he says, the reaction for the squad to score within 3 or 4 minutes was. And see, to be fair, I don't know if I've been biased here, right? But were Rangers really that good the first 7 minutes? Were they really that good? Were they really like Celtic? Didn't seem. It wasn't
they just did a better. They just probably did a better start.
It was a total different complexion for the game at Celtic Park. For the first minute to the last, Celtic were boom. It was total intimidation. I don't care what anybody says. I couldn't. I sensed it in the stadium. I know I think you were there yourself, mate. You sensed it. Walking to the ground, you'd seen everybody, the lights, darkness. There was an energy, Ryan. There was a
different energy about the place.
You sensed it. When I sat in my seat, I looked out, I was reading my programme. You pay your tenner if you're paying bother as usual, and you're just looking about, you're thinking here.
Do you get charged a tenner? I don't get charged a tenner.
Well, including the programme and maybe 2 pies, I should say.
Plus you see me coming and saying, there's big 15 quid guy. There's big 15 quid guy coming with me.
But I looked about the stadium. You just and I also had a bet for nothing. I think I said it on the podcast beforehand. The Wednesday game, I was very, very confident. The same as the game before. The game at Ibrox, I was very confident, and I'm very confident again leading up to this Sunday. There's no reason why you've not been confident. I know people say it's a different game, it's a cup competition.
Yeah,
but it's a cup competition for us, which means there's no pressure. As Ange says, he tells the squad in a cup game, there's no pressure, just go out and express yourself. It's a different for a league game. There's no 3 points. You've got maybe an extra 20 minutes or half an hour after extra time if you need to win the game. So you can play all day to win the game. So there's no pressure. Like you say, we talk about obviously the build up to the team selection. But it seems that Jackie Marcus could be fit. I've not really heard much about him not being fit. I know there's a bit on Celtic TV today saying he trains, so that's a good thing. Maybe that him and Cotton Wool. I don't think he'll need to really train much, to be fair. He's been playing consistent the last few weeks, so I
actually have a feeling, Ryan, regardless of whether the big fella was fit or no, I think he might not start him on Sunday.
See, I don't think Kyle will start. personally. I know you might be different, mate, but I think he'll keep him for the Celtic. I think he'll keep him for the split, personally. I know this is a massive game, but if Jackie Marcus is fit, I wouldn't change the style of play. I wouldn't change the team. I know O'Reilly, to be fair, O'Reilly played really well and he's put himself in for a massive shout to play.
Yeah.
Because the guy's a talent. But I think, for me, I know Lance likes to tinker a few times, but I'm a big believer I don't change a winning team. You can't really drop Rogic for that performance last week. That was superb. That performance against Rangers.
No, it was, but I don't think he'll drop O'Reilly because he's braced.
I know it's hard, isn't it? I'm just happy. I'm like you, mate. He's got a massive headache, and I'm glad I've not got a headache to put up with.
Aye, definitely. I'm with you.
It's a very good headache to have. Who he picks again, it's a luxury, as you say, mate, because no matter who he plays, I know it's not going to happen, mate, but he could put in Beaton or McCarthy as a curveball. It's not going to happen, but if he did do that, you wouldn't be, oh, fucking here we go. Because you trust the manager, because he's put the guy's faith into play. So, but I think team selection for me, mate, I know we'll do another pod or two beforehand, but I think he's, for me anyway, again, what I think and what Ange thinks will be different, but for me, mate, I think he'll keep the same team. I don't think, me personally, I don't think I would drop anybody. If Jackie Marcus is fit, I would play Jackie Marcus because I think the guy's on form. I think he brings a different dimension to the game. And maybe after 60 minutes, bang on Kyogo. And then you've got half an hour for him to run ragged. You've got half an hour for Abada to run ragged.
Aye.
I mean, you've maybe, even if you need to make a change at the back, you've got the pace of Ralston to come on the bench. You've got so many options to bring on.
It would be hysterical if he just sent the 17 out and went like the ref like this up about it.
You've got so many options, mate. And for the first, see, even under Rodgers, mate, right, we always had a good bench. Even with Lennon before last year, you had a good bench. But the squad we've got now, mate, it's just, you've got guys like Ageti, £5 million striker, £5 million goalkeeping podcast, who are not even getting in the fucking squad, in the match day squad. So that tells you where you are when it comes to the strength and depth.
It does, mate. Aye. Well, that's what I'm saying. It just alludes back to obviously the windows that Ange he's had, and obviously the quality and depth that he's now brought for the squad. I mean, going for what Ange inherited to what he's got now is totally night and day. And as I say, it's only going to bode well moving. And that's the thing. Like, we're all wondering who we're going to sign in the summer. I'm actually not even worried because you know for a fact whoever it's going to be, he's going to have something about him. He's going to have quality about him, and he's going to have the attributes to come in and play for our club. So I don't even get a league wrapped up. Let's win the league. Get a league wrapped up. I want to be greedy. I want to win a treble. We can do that. Get it all sewn up. After that, the boys have got a long holiday. We've got a longer summer because then you're right into the Champions League next season. So you've got a longer summer. Other teams will need to be back because they've got the 16 qualifiers they've got to get through, and probably you're in the draw for all the Munchblasher teams as well, aren't you? So it's going to be good, mate. I can kind of faintly in the distance hear that Champions League music ringing in my ears again. That'd be good to hear that ringing in the stadium again, man. I'm
like you, mate. You don't want to tempt fate because you'll look stupid and you'll end up getting videos made up of you, memes made up of you. That's what people do. Listen, we all do. I've done it on Twitter the last week or two. I mean, a bookmarks I've had to retweet, and it's brilliant. It's banter. I like it. So see, if we don't win the league, we don't win in treble, I'll happily get this and people can tweet this and say, you said this, because see, at the time, you're confident in your team. And at the moment, we're by far the best team in Scotland. We're 6 points clear. Basically 7 with a goal difference. That's the thing as well. Obviously, the split's been released. First game, obviously, Ross County, and then Rangers. If it stays the same until the game at Parkhead, we basically win the league. I know it'll be 9 points. It's still mathematically possible for Rangers to win the league, but with a goal difference, it basically is, because they're only going to claw back 20 odd goals or whatever it is in 3 games.
What is it now? Is it 19 goals or something?
Something like that, mate. obviously we've still to play Ross County, and they've had a good season. They've in the top six. You might think they've got their aim now, so they could just really sit back and just. I'm not going to say they're going to try, but they've got their aim now. They've got top six.
It was interesting to hear as well the wee request that's been put forward. I can't remember who it was. I seen it the other day. There's been a request put forward in the World Cup for the games to last 100 minutes.
I seen that, mate. I touch on that, mate, because that's.
I'm all for that. It worked out well this season. Big ball for us, but we scored the 97th minute.
I actually said it to my old man, right? And she to be fair, right? She most of the games these days because of how many fouls are gave and shies and subs, with the 5 subs, etc.
Yeah.
I can understand. See if it's 100 minutes where you've got an allocated 100 minutes and that's it, and it's no added on time, it's no stoppages. Then yes. I'd probably say fair enough, and I'd maybe introduce that into maybe normal football, domestic wise, because it means that you've got 90 minutes, but you've got 10 minutes of basically stoppages, today subs and any. So basically, you don't get any added on play. So there's no stoppages for injuries, and you've got basically 10 minutes, and that's it. Obviously, stoppages for injuries, as in head knocks and treatment. But what I mean is there's no added on time to that. So you get your 100 minutes, and that'll be it. Whether or not what happens in Qatar, I don't know, because they try to fucking kill the players. It's going to be 20 odd degrees. I know they're going to have all.
Well, I think it's certainly not going to be as warm as what it would have been if they were trying to have it in the summer. That's for sure, because obviously that's why it's been moved to that time of the year. Am I right?
I think so, mate. Aye, but I do agree.
Because the summer would have.
I do agree, mate. That could be a good thing, because let's be fair, like you've said.
Like I says, it worked out well for us.
Like you says, mate, you've been 97 minutes, 98 minutes. I think there was one game I watched a bit in 99 minutes. So, which is in the score, so it didn't work. So, but I can maybe see that. I don't know what you think of that, mate, but I don't know if it could maybe happen domestic wise, but I think it's maybe something you can trial just to see how it works. But if it was to work for me, it would only be no added on time, no added on stoppage of play. You just play 100 minutes and that's it. Basically.
No, that's it, of course.
But I don't like the fact they're changing it, because I think 90 minutes is enough as it is. But if that's
it kind of defeats the purpose of bringing that in the first place. If you're going to then have stoppage time ahead of, like, beyond that as well. So I would agree with you, mate. It kind of makes sense. I'd be all for it as well, mate, to be honest with you. Because it would give my team a chance to score an extra goal or two. I reckon we'd have won about 8-0 at the weekend or 9-0 had we had that extra 10 minutes. So I'm kind of all for it, mate. And obviously, it gives a chance to get the goal difference up as well. So,
and obviously, like you say about they're going to be playing Braga as well, mate. On Thursday, they're playing us. They're really only going to really have 2 days really to recover.
Albeit they're at home as well.
Aye, because obviously the game will finish maybe later by the time they get home, they get to sleep. The next day will just be a recovery session. So then they'll maybe be like, good effort there for Celtic, good save. So it's going to be... say
as well during this, mate, the ref's a bit card pappy, as you know. Just me. every challenge he goes in, he's booking the...
Is it a money Kevin Clancy?
I don't know. But it's either that or a lot of the boys have just... He's wishing a lot of the boys happy birthday with the amount of cards he's been getting them.
That's just a warm-up for Sunday anyway, isn't it? It's just a rehearsal.
Aye.
But I would say, mate, the fact that they've got a game on Thursday, we've got a fresh week. Good training sessions ahead. They can recover a day or two, get a day off, go and rest and recover, go and relax for a few days. Guys can maybe heal up for any injuries, any niggles they've got. So that's what I was saying. It's the only small thing about us over in Europe that's maybe going to get as a league, and maybe get us flying on all cylinders into the new season.
Yeah. No, definitely, mate. Thursday night's game for them is going to have to be slinging the kitchen sink at everything if they have any aspirations of wanting to get to the semi-finals. So they're going to have to play with a tempo. Whatever happens for them in Thursday night. But as it stands, I know one of their feet are out the door. So they've got it all to do on Wednesday night. They need to win 2-0. So realistically, and I really don't see them I can see Braga scoring, to be fair with you, because I think their defence has a weak mentality. I think their players are bang average. I think a lot of them they couldn't keep Wayne's out of close. In all honesty, and I think that again it's a pressure game, so we know how well they deal with pressure,
which they don't.
Which they don't really, unless the stadium's empty.
Right.
So I can see maybe a wee upset on the cards on Thursday night over there, and then again that psychologically that takes an effect on you, because then you've got a big massive game to try and boost yourself again for Sunday, and then it's a team that's already turned his head back to back the last twice. So possibly people saying you'll be looking forward to it because it's a derby. If you're on the losing side, Ryan, and you know you've already been turned there twice with a mob that's now flying, you're kind of going to be slightly worried that, because we think to ourselves that they might need McGregor at the weekend to have another blinder. And it's time and time again with him, mate. He just keeps bailing them out all the time. He's done it the last couple of rounds in Europe for them.
He does. He done it
against us at Celtic Park. Because it was 3-0 going in at half time. It could have been 6 or 7 that night easily. And I genuinely think if that was the case and that was happening 6 or 7 at half time, I actually think the manager would have been sacked at half time. I personally, and I don't see any way back for the guy if Celtic put him out on Sunday, because that's their season finished as far as I'm concerned.
So I was watching Open Goal earlier, and even they were saying, like, they were even talking about if he loses on Sunday and he loses on Thursday, would they sack him? It's going
to be hard to.
It's going to be hard. I genuinely believe that. See when they first came in, right? People were giving them praise, and Rangers have not played good football all season. So where are they getting through the Gio's China football? See, even last year, right? I don't think they played superbly good football. They just got the job done. They were organised, and they were up against a horrendous Celtic team, who were, like you says, mate. Sorry, they were very unorganised, and like obviously now I don't play football now, so I watch football differently. And I used to watch the games with my old man. I look at the game, I said, look at the shape of Celtic. You'd Scott Brown there, you'd McGregor there, you'd fucking Elyounoussi there. It was all over the fucking place. And it was so hard to know see it. Now, if we can see it, how could the manager not see it? How could the players not sort it themselves? But the way that the team are drilled this year, like I think even Simon Ferry says it, he says Celtic lose the ball, but as soon as they lose the ball, they're back into their shape. They're right back into their shape. You've got the striker, you've got your midfielders in your defence, and they don't move. And I think that's the big difference for us this year, that as soon as we get the ball lost, we're right back into shape. And it gives you a momentum to go forward again. I'm just like you, mate. I just can't see how they don't have a bit of fear now. Once you lose one game, you can maybe get back and get a result, and it gets you back onto the momentum. But losing two derby games, I think we lost a few in a row with Drew, and then we lost a few. And let's be fair, it does play a back burn on your head.
Definitely.
So, especially, I think the way the games have went, especially the game at Celtic Park, where we absolutely annihilated them. The game at Ibrox, first 15 minutes, I would say, maybe they had a wee bit, they scored a goal, but as soon as we get that first goal, it was all Celtic. I know, for me, Celtic controlled the game. They got the first goal, and as soon as we get the second goal, mate, the second half for me was just, Celtic were just wearing the storm. There were no any panic, they've just done their job. And like you say, when you've got the two at the back, you've got a international quality right back who is international quality. I know Barisic he was Croatia's left back, and I do think the guy's a good player. I just think he's up his arse. I think he's sold somewhere else.
I actually think Abada done that to him, mate. He's been dropped on the PlayStation.
I know some fans might shut me down, but see if Barisic was playing our team, he'd be very, very good. I think the guy's a good player, mate. He's probably the only guy who I would maybe take for their squad to play in their team. If I was to get a gun in my head and say who would you take, it would be him. And most of them would take him, but I'm just saying, as if I was a scenario, I think he's a good player, mate. But I think his head is in the clouds, and I think he's already gone somewhere else. Which I think you can tell that because he's hard kicked the ball since that game, like you say, mate, with a bad told him on your arsehole.
Yeah.
And again, similar, I think Open Goal says it, and I'm similar what they're saying for this Sunday. I would play Maeda with Bassi if Bassi plays left.
Yeah.
And Jota with right with Tav, because I think Tav, Jota will give Tav more nightmare than I think he would Bassi. I think Bassi's maybe a better defensively than Tavernier.
Yeah.
So as much as I think Jota can get by Bassi, I think Maeda will go with Bassi's pace. So he'll just chase him up doing like a fucking yo-yo. He'll no stop. Bassi will get a second. But with Jota might give him a bit of leeway. So I think maybe swap sides. But again, that's maybe me just being picky, just to maybe give a bit of leeway on the two sides.
Aye, that's a good option, mate, there, that you just said. I think the team will... personally, mate, I think the team picks itself, to be honest. I think it's Joe Hart, Juranovic, Carter Vickers, Starfelt, Taylor. I think the midfield will be McGregor. McGregor, Hatate, O'Reilly. I just think he'll play O'Reilly, Ryan, just for the fact that he's just off the back of his brace. He hasn't actually started the last couple of games. He's been playing Rogic. I might be wrong, he might play Rogic, but obviously, because Rogic does the damage against him in that fixture. So, I think he might try and freshen it up a wee bit and gives a bit more. I think O'Reilly gives you a wee bit more in terms of legs than Rogic. Rogic would be a brilliant sub to bring on to have a go when things are tired. And I think it'll be Maeda through the middle. And I think he'll play Abada and Jota. I think he'll start with Maeda through the middle if Giakoumakis isn't 100%. Giakoumakis is fit, then it'll be Jota, Maeda and Giakoumakis. But if a big man can't make it, then I don't think he'll start Kyogo personally myself. And I think he'll play Maeda through the middle and have Jota and Abada. Because Abada's also got that killer instinct, right? He's got that. You saw it at Ibrox, mate. He had 2 good chances when he came on. He gets his set into positions, mate. That just he's got that. Look at him on Saturday where that one Kyogo played their attack.
Yeah.
That's Stingley's all day long. Maeda, he just sit down, he's ready to, and he just sees Abada sprinting. Abada's just got that killer instinct, mate. He gets his set into the box and he's there to try and finish things off, and he's always good for a goal, man. It's kind of hard to leave him out of the team, I know, because he's goal return now. So I personally think that'll be the team that, for me, that I think Ange will play. I think he'll go with it. If Big Giakoumakis can't make it, then I think he'll go with A3 for speed in terms of legs, because Jota, Maeda and Abada, they're just relentless, mate. They don't get in, they don't stop, they chase lost causes, they get in about you, and Jota's just unbelievable, man. He's just frightening. He could nutmeg you with flip-flops. So.
He could nutmeg you in a post box about Rogic, couldn't he?
Rogic can, he'd nutmeg you in a phone box with a beach ball full of helium.
It's a very good problem to have. Who do you play at Giakoumakis? You can play Maeda through the middle. You've got so much quality you can depend on. And obviously that's going to bode well. Obviously the split, it's going to be, let's be fair, it's going to be relentless games. And as we speak, it's 1-0 to Rangers B, as I stand corrected. Not good for the B team, that. Kind of similar to our set pieces defending the first team.
I've not actually seen that for a long time with with the first team now, to be fair.
Well,
The ball just comes in there, simply, doesn't it? It's the
Aye.
corner, the ball just comes in and it's a free header, to be fair. The goalkeeper's actually in no man's land.
Goalie's come out and sold himself there.
Yeah.
I obviously back onto the game of Sunday, so I said, they've got a good option to play Iron Maid up front if Jack and Mackins can't make it. And obviously that will bode well going into the split, because let's be fair, every game is going to be relentless, so you need everybody fit, and the guys are no fit. You've got the guys to come in, i.e.
Yes.
Maeda and Kyogo, who should be fit now for the remaining games. And you actually touch on it, obviously want to touch on too far, but the game obviously at Celtic Park, if Celtic beat Ross County and Rangers do or drop points no matter what, the game at Celtic Park is probably going to be the title match. And what a way to get up for that game, mate. Even though we don't need to get up for that game, if you can win the title in front of 60,000 fans, I know technically you still have 3 games to go. It'll go to maybe 9 points. Mathematically, it's still impossible to win the league for Rangers, but it's going to be just about impossible if you're 15, 16 goals ahead, whatever it is. So that's going to be a big night in Glasgow, should I say.
Yes.
A big day, because I said it to my old man, if this is the scenario, this will happen. Would it surprise you, mate, if the Polish get this changed to another day? Because this is going to be... As my old man, it says it, mate, and do you know, when I think it, because something, I don't think it, I says I don't think it will happen, because it's Sky Sports, it's set in stone. But if the Polish think something's going to happen, could they pull this game and put it to another day? I don't know if it's ever happened before. I don't know if they my recognition. I don't know, mate. I'm just...
No, it's happened before. I mean, mate, they won, the old Rangers won the league at Celtic Park. They done the huddle right in the middle of the pitch.
Aye. So what would they change it because of that? But the fact that they might only have a few hundred fans. So does it matter really? It's not going to cause a lot of issues. It's going to be Stewards, Polish. But let's be fair, mate, I think it's going to be a very, 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 very exciting game, no matter what. But if the title's on the line, that's going to be one of the biggest games at Celtic Park in a long, long time, especially for us.
It's probably going to be bigger than the one that they've just played them at recently.
And
February.
Again, see if I was playing, obviously considering what happened the last time when they won at Celtic Park, we have not really milked our trebles in the league wins, have we? Let's be fair, have we really? I've just celebrated them. Next season, we do it again.
Mm-hmm.
If we win the league at Celtic Park against Rangers, and it's a big if, because as we know, mate, football can happen. You've got to milk the fuck out it. You've got to milk the fuck out it. I don't care if it's hard huddles, if it's you need to milk it, mate, because these things don't happen often. Success doesn't always happen often, and for me, when you win league titles and cups, and you've got to milk it. You've got to milk it, because it doesn't always happen. And I don't think...
We had a bit of banter last season, didn't we, when St Johnstone won the League Cup and they drove by Celtic Park and one of the boys in the video says, "Here, Celtic, we've got your cup."
But that just shows you, mate, how hard it is to win trophies. They've won a double last year and they're just about might get a playoff to go down this year. It just shows you how hard success is.
No, definitely. Aye, definitely. And that, again, that's a total freak. Look, a team like St Johnstone winning the 2 domestic cups, you'll probably never see that again, Ryan, to be honest. In one season, you're probably really hard pushed, I think, to get a team to go and win the 2, unless it's going to be Celtic. I think you would be really hard pushed to find a team that's going to go and win the 2 domestic cups in one season away for the league. So, aye, it's kind of, it was definitely unheard of and a total surprise last season. And fair play to St Johnstone. But then you had a bit of banter and they celebrated it as well. So saying to Celtic that, right, we've got your cup, driving by Celtic Park, thinking they're, being funny. And right away they were made to eat their words this season, because who did Celtic get in the semi-final with the League Cup? The holders, and beat them. So, things all happen. The swinging roundabouts, mate, and it all comes back round to it. And I think you need to be careful with some of the things you come away with as well, because things can quickly come back to bite you the backside before you know it. And the celebrations we saw last season, and the events at George Square that took place and everything else, then obviously, as I say, but as you said yourself, obviously when it got to the treble, then we were all, most days we were all down at Gallagate and we were there. But again, the Polish put a stop to that very quickly.
Just
They
about to say
wouldn't let the team come and see us at all. They sent us all their merry way. We get the other mob get to go and smash up half the city and are allowed to
drink alcohol in the streets and alcohol banned in Glasgow.
Yeah, drinking alcohol in the streets and nothing said. And then they're left to just cause utter carnage between one another.
But when it's the 12th of July or Rangers win trophies, they can drink in the street and do what they want. But every other day of the week, you can't do it.
Yeah. Celtic fans after the game at Ibrox were doing a huddle outside one of the pubs in Parkhead. And they were on the road doing a huddle, and they were very quickly moved and told to get off the road. I had a wee chuckle because I thought, right, well, if that was a way about and it was a blue slip raid on, I don't think they'd have been moved pretty quickly. And that seems to be...
You know and I know, mate, that if we win the league this year, we win a treble, it's going to be mental celebrations, but you know how much Polish and all that we're doing at the Gallagate. You know that, mate. Celtic will be able to celebrate it. We've not been able to celebrate fucking anything. Like you say, especially a treble. The bus was meant to go down the Gallagate, down the town, and we got told because it was too busy, etc. The bus isn't coming down.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man! It's just let us enjoy your day. The fans are there. Listen, like we always say, right? As a minority at every team, Celtic, Rangers, Aberdeen, whatever it is, there's a minority of stupidity of fans that are going to do silly stuff, drunk. Listen, it happens.
Yeah.
But that minority at George Square was no minority. That was about 2,000 fans. That was ridiculous. Like I say, I know people went there and they had a wee drink, and they went home, no bother. But we all know what drink involves. The Polish need to be made aware of these things as well. I think as well, mate. See for toxic Rangers win the league this year, right, or Celtic win the league, right? There should be no harm in them setting something up, an organised event like the day for Champions League away games for teams to go away or fan zones. There should be no harm in that happening. That would cause less fights, less Polish involved, less media attention, less misjudging and less fucking Bill Ross, all the guys to come out and tarnish Scottish football. See if it's for talk's sake, it doesn't go to the last day of the last day of the season, and it's confirmed Celtic win the league, right? Or it's confirmed they win the league, right? Whatever. Can they no plan somewhere? Can Celtic no say, right, look, even the fans, just say me and you and a big group of fans, look, we want to have a big fucking crowd here, we want to celebrate in George Square, we want to celebrate in whatever. Can we set something up where there's bars or there's Polish, or just a civil Celtic fans or Rangers fans organisation? How can that not happen? How can people at the top of the fucking country no think, but me and you're sitting here probably one of the only ones that are thinking about doing this? How can that not be organised?
Well, definitely, 100%, mate. There's certainly a lot of land run at Celtic Park. I'd imagine Celtic could organise something to set up for the fans to go and have a big day. I also thought it was at that time as well when we were going for a treble in the final. The Celtic Park, I can't remember exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure Celtic Park was booked out for something that day. And I thought to myself, who came up with that idea? Like, fine well, there's a chance Celtic might get to the Scottish Cup final. They've just won a double treble. They're going for a treble. But then upstairs again at Celtic, allow Celtic to book out the stadium so that the fans then couldn't do what they done when it was a double treble. And we all went down to Celtic Park, and Brendan and the team came up on the open top bus all the way from Hampden, right back up to the stadium. That was amazing that day, mate.
Yep.
That's got to be probably one of the best days I've ever had in my life.
Aye.
And I was at the game. I went to Hampden as well, so we beat Motherwell 2-0. But that whole day was just amazing. The weather was really nice. The the atmosphere again was perfect. You just again you just once Celtic get to these later stages in these cups, right? There's never a feeling of, oh, Norris could go really wrong for us the other day. And very seldom does it ever happen. I think the last time it ever really happened was the Ross County game. Remember Lennon's first sort of game in charge, the very first time he took over. And even at that, he wasn't the manager yet. He was still the caretaker. When I can't remember. I can't believe I've mentioned this. Tony Mowbray's Celtic team. That was it. That's a back on it. That's a thing I want to forget very quickly. And that's the thing as well. A lot of people that current Celtic fans, some people have got short memories too, because when you see Celtic doing well, when you I remember a lot of bad times that Celtic have had as well, right? And growing up as a boy for me was watching the other side winning 9 in a row. And when Wim Jansen came in and obviously changed things that season, and we won the league to Stoke 10 in a row. That was massive. That was mad. I was only 13, 14, just about when that happened. So, as I say, growing up for me was watching them winning 9 in a row. And I remember a lot of really bad Celtic teams. I remember Lou Macari's Celtic team. We wouldn't have beat the Post Office. Do you know what I mean? We were bad, mate. We were really bad. We wouldn't have... McVitie's team was probably better than us then, I know. Do you know what I mean? We were absolutely right rotten. We had a lot of players that slept with football players, to be fair, in that actual team at the time. I remember guys like Wayne Biggins and Carol Muggleton and Ian Andrews, and mate, Celtic fans nowadays don't know how lucky they are to be watching the quality now that we're watching at Celtic Park. I remember a lot of tripe and rot. So, just getting onto that, mate. We were talking about the events and stuff as well for organising things. I just don't see why it can't be done myself, personally. Just the whole, there's places that we could go to and be organised when things are coming up in these big occasions and big days. That if the Polish don't want us to litter the streets, then allow us to do this. Allow us to go and do our organised events and leave us alone. Because there'll not be, as you said, it doesn't matter. I don't imagine who it would be, but when Kings of Leon come to Bellahouston Park, and it's organised and it's in that vicinity and it's ticketed and it's there, there's never any bother.
No.
There's never a mad ruckus or a mass brawl, or there's never any bother. You're obviously going to get one or two that can't handle their drink and go too far with things, but there's never any serious concern of getting out of hand. And I've been to gigs at Bellahouston Park before, you know what I mean? So if things are organised, mate, and they're done properly, people behave within themselves when they're in the sort of events. So when you go to the Hydro, you don't dream of having a bevy and causing riots in the Hydro, do you? You get one or two that just, as I say, can't handle it and just don't know how to socialise and don't know how to behave in the public eye. And I think maybe lockdown's got a lot to play on that as well. So,
you see, like you say on the lockdown, right? We're all adults here, right? We all love going out and we were all stuck in, and you couldn't get meet your pals and socialise and have a beer. But what in the right mind do you go out to go and fucking wreck to go and wreck benches because you've had a beer in fucking 2 years? Do you know what I mean? I don't understand, mate. I really don't. But like you said, I don't see why we can't have an organised, if it's us, Rangers, Aberdeen, whoever wins the league or wins a cup, how can you have an organised event? Why can you know even, like you say, there's a lot of land at Celtic Park, right? When about Celtic, right? Why can you know of a ticketed event where basically Celtic Park, all the areas in Celtic Park, it's covered off. You can't go down here between, just say the cast fucking 2 o'clock, between 5 and 7 at night. Celtic fans are going to celebrate. You can't go up through the floors, you can't go up through the parkhead. You shut it off and you just let fans celebrate. The stewards and police all about. What is the harm in that?
I don't see any harm. I don't see any problem in it, mate, because...
But these people up the top have not got in mind, I'm not going to call them stupid because of fucking high qualified jobs, but they can't even think of simple things like that, but yet they'll go and talk about fucking oil and weapons and this, but they can't organise wee things like that. I don't understand it.
Right. See, again, politicians and people like that, Ryan, shouldn't be left to organise these events in the first place.
Football just shouldn't be in politics at all.
No, I totally agree with you, mate. It's just two different things altogether, two different commodities altogether, and they're night and day between each other. So, no, I agree with you, they just shouldn't have been here. One another. A politician shouldn't tell a footballer about today and vice versa. But that's not been this season in the last wee while, because it seemed to be that Nicola's been telling us all what we're doing and what we're not doing, and he had to laugh as well. Was it the cup final or the Hibs game? What was it? It was said.
Jason Leach came out and says it was a super spreader. But yeah, the game before on the Saturday at Tynecastle and the games, the Partick Thistle games, their games, they were all right, but Celtic game is a super spreader.
Yeah,
now, football's fine. Football's brand new. COVID cases are going up, they're going down, they're going up and down, but yeah, football's just fine now. Celtic are fine now. Everything's fine.
I love that as well. You've got to wear a mask at the kiosk, and your mate's standing behind you, but you can go and take your mask off and sit beside them. And
see the best it is, right? She's wanting to say this and she's wanting to say that, right? She went down south to a wake and a funeral. I can't remember when it was recently. Was it Prince Philip's memorial or something? And she was sitting without a mask.
Aye, because down there, you don't, that's so different.
Aye, but if she wanted to abide by her rules, she could wear a mask. But I mean, I'm not going to lie, sometimes I don't wear a mask with me, right? I'm done with her now as well, right? But if she's wanting to follow through, her rules, then she's got to do it. And I think the last thing I want to touch on, mate, I think you've probably seen it as well on Twitter. Fans who have got the game, they're wanting people to take tricolours, etc. The game, just had a bit of colour at the game, etc. The Green Brigade or the North Club, etc. But what to do? Celtic fans are wanting to do a trifle basically, but all this usual stuff that we always do before big cup games, and they'll get knocked back. Why are you knocked back? Is it because it's Rangers? Is that why you get knocked back? What's the deal getting knocked back for doing a celebration that it's only going to be before the game? Mm-hmm. What's the big deal? It just seems to be with me what I do things, mate. It's a no-no. But I just like to think that why we get knocked back for it? What's the big deal? Is it because in case they riot? Or is it in case it brings up?
I've obviously missed that. Are we getting stopped for doing something?
Aye, see, normally before the games, Celtic, finals, normally Green Brigade, etc. The people do like the day big thing at start of the game.
Like the tifos and stuff.
Aye, but not back for that.
All right.
So
that's interesting.
The Green Brigade, etc., and the one trying to just bring a tricolour just to do something for the game, but we'll get knocked back for that. We'll get knocked back for them. So why this game get knocked back? But the Hibs games, the quarterfinals, the semis, for the last game, that was allowed. The final was allowed. So why is it not allowed against Rangers? What is the big deal? See people of these day and age are going to take offence for flags or posters or fucking...
I think it depends what's on them, Ryan. If you look back to the game at Ibrox, we spoke about it on Sunday.
Aye, that's different, mate. I've not had my brother...
That's allowed. That's allowed there.
Aye, of course it is.
But we're not allowed to.
So I'm glad you brought it up, mate, because obviously I listened to the one yesterday, sorry. And he's right, mate. Spot on. Sorry, Sunday. Aye, he's spot on.
Sunday, aye.
It's fucking unbelievably poor. It's disgusting that people who are adults would make up, doesn't matter if it's Celtic adults, Rangers, whoever it is, anybody in Scottish football, English football, whatever. If you think that sitting in a night time or during the day to make up a banner about child abuse is correct and what you should be doing, then I think you need to take a good look at yourself, because it's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, you need to start evaluating what's going on in your life.
Mate. Like you say, people who have got families and they're maybe seen this at a game, it's disgusting. See if you've got these opinions and what are the points going, keep it for your social media, keep it for your own wee circle of friends, keep it for your own banter. Don't have it at football games. It's ridiculous.
It's not even something I think, mate, you can pass off
no,
as banter.
Mate, it's no, mate, but you know what people are like, mate. People like to have a laugh about these things. It's shambolic that
I know.
That it's been brought up. I don't know what, but listen, we all know things in football have happened to not just Celtic, Rangers, every team down south. These are all cases that are going on for years, and it's going to probably continue to go on. I don't know anything enough about it, so I'm not going to comment on it. But I just know that if you're going to make banners about it and point score about it, like you say, mate, you need to reevaluate your life. I'm not sure if any other podcasts or any other social media streams have brought this up, but it just seems to be swept under the carpet. Nobody's really mentioned it. It seems to be that the glass bottle situation has been looked at, but it's still not been really put out as front page news. It's not really been out there. But I guarantee you, if that's at Celtic Park and that's a Celtic fan, Celtic will be getting fined. Celtic will be getting banned for UEFA. Usual shite. FIFA, the lot will be involved. Nicola Sturgeon will be involved.
Well, he has been done, hasn't he? He's a 32-year-old male I've got for it.
Aye, but he's done, that's it. It's just been like, it's not happened. But yet Celtic, every time something happens, it's brought up. It's fined, or Celtic need to do this, or Celtic need to do this. Again, mate, I'm all for having a level playing field. If you do something wrong, you're done for it. If we do something wrong, we're done for it. They're done for it, but it just seems to be, mate, when things happen, it's got to be brought up for it to happen. Then no just happen. But that, like you say, mate, the banners is, I'm not going to say anything about it, mate. I think people know my views on it. It's fucking shambolic. You said what you had to say on Sunday, mate, and what you said was spot on. But on these things and about Noah's around today, this and Sunday, I really don't know why, mate. That's my last topic for the night, so I don't really know why it's not been brought up, mate. I don't know what you think. I know you might have not knew about it as much, but I've probably stopped to deal with that, mate. Aye.
Right, I hadn't heard anything, mate, and I've actually not seen anything on social media and stuff myself, so I wasn't aware of that. It just goes to show you, mate, that it's what we seems to be a set of rules for one and a different set of rules for the other. And when it comes to Celtic, mate, there's goalposts being moved left, right, and centre all other gaff. So, well, that's it. Listen, it is what it is. We've got to deal with what we've got to deal with, and that's it. And 9 times out of 10, mate, we need to do things the hard way. And they've kind of, I was laughing to myself. I know it's funny you mentioned it earlier on about the fixture that they've gave us a game at Dingwall. So they've gave us a game at Dingwall.
Shut up.
I think they play. Did they not play before us at Fir Park?
I don't know, mate. I don't know. No, I think the Ross County game, I think we can go 9 points ahead, is that not right?
No, I think they play before us, Ryan. The two games are on Sky, I'm sure. And I think they play before us as well. The game's on a Sunday. And I think they play before us. I think because it's the week after we play them, and it's a meeting Sunday. And I'm sure the game's at like 2 o'clock, back at 2 in the day. The game's on Sky, but so is them. They kick off at 12:30. And I think, I'm sure it's that. I'm positive they play before us. So again, there's a wee bit of thingies in there, I know. With him getting a chance to close the gap to the 3 points. And I'm a great believer in it, mate. That's constant what goes on. It goes on or about, and it's up to people to understand. They either understand it or they don't. People can say it's all down to conspiracy theories and everything else, but it's no. It's definitely no, and obviously, that is what it is, and we can all see, and you can only say with what you see, Ryan. You can only, and that's basically what you see looking in for the outside. That's certainly what I can see. I'm pretty sure some of the boys, even on the chat, and that would probably agree with me and say that it's similar to what they see. So I think it's just there's, like I say, mate, it seems to be a different rule. We're set to a different set of standards, and I think the whole Dubai fiasco is a big demonstration of that. Seems to be everything. By the way, I'm not saying that was okay either, because that was a bizarre decision to even go there in the first place. But the whole telling us it's okay, telling us this, telling us that, and then when we're back, it's like we've broke every rule in the league. The way we were dealt with, the way we were treated, the way we were left hung out to dry. Again, I do not know why Big Julian went that trip with him. He was injured, so I don't know what he was possibly doing. I understand, okay, right, they've got rehab programmes and everything else. They probably didn't want him back here just working himself, or I don't know, they want to leave a member of staff or whatever they were doing, but they were kind of... but I get the whole... They wanted to take him, and obviously that's what they needed to do. But it was bizarre. But again, mate, the standards seems to be set differently for us than it does other people, and that's very evident to see, mate.
Yeah, I think my look say it's going to be 1-0 to Rangers as well before we end the show. But I'm like you, mate. It just seem to be different standards for different things, different clubs, different managers, etc. Again, we'll build up to obviously the game on Sunday, again, mate, during the week. But I'm looking forward to myself. I can only see one winner. But we'll get obviously different opinions as the days go on to Sunday. But again, mate, thanks for your time. Good to be back hosting. But again, mate, take care, and I'll see you again during the week. Thanks, mate.
See you soon, Ryan. Farewell.